back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Lindsay, and today I'm doing this video, an unscripted video, about the books that I plan on reading in May, because I did a short about it and I figured I might as well make a longer video kind of talking about why I plan on reading these books, why I'm excited to read these books. So let me get into it. The first book I talked a little bit about in my Pango Books haul, why I got this book. It has come heavily recommended to me by friends and family. I was actually just talking to someone the other day about it and they were like, it's so good. So I'm very excited. I have been trying to get my hands on it for a while, and it is the next book I'm going to read as soon as I finish. Oh my goodness, why can't I ever remember the name of this book? I always want to call it The Ballad of Never After, but that's the second one, it's the third one, and I'm wrapping it up. Why can't I ever, you know what, Libby, help me, Libby. A Curse for True Love. Yes, that is the book that I am currently finishing up. And once I finish that, I'm going to jump right into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Did I say Audie the first time, or did I say Addie? Because that's another thing I talked about in the Pango Books haul. For some reason, I am just rambling here, I have been calling it forever The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I don't know who Addie is and why I keep saying Addie. Who's Addie? But Addie, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I'm so excited to read it. From what I understand, I think there's a time traveling aspect to it. But yeah, I'm about to jump into it, and I'm going to vlog my reading experience of this one, so stay tuned for that. Also, this will be my first time reading a V.E. Schwab book, and I actually have a few on my list because everything I've read, the little blurbs that I've read on Storygraph about V.E. Schwab's books, they sound very interesting to me. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about V.E. Schwab's writing, but again, everyone said it's so good. So I really hope I feel the same way. So the rest of the books I plan on reading this month are all from the From Blood and Ash series from Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book was actually recommended to me by an English teacher. We were talking about romantasy, and she was like, you have to check out my girl, Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I'm hoping, that I do like these books. I've read the From Blood and Ash blurb. From what I've seen some people talk about the tropes. I usually like to not read books just based off the tropes. I like to know a little bit more than that. So I have heard some other reviews that were spoiler free that piqued my interest. From what I do understand, the series has a love triangle, and that's not usually my favorite, but again, if the story itself is actually good, I can get past that. That being said, I don't know where my voice is going, but we're just gonna let it leave. That being said, I also haven't read a ton of romantasy books at this point. I've read a lot of fantasy books with romance subplots, but ones that have a mix of both, or just maybe are a little bit more romance heavy. I have read some that are pretty much just romance set in a fantasy world, and I can be fine with that. I just also like to have a plot and like a bit of world building, but still I am a sucker for romance a lot of the time, so it just depends on how well it's done. Because I do understand these books are steamy, and I'm fine with that. I just like there to also be a plot, and from what the English teacher said, I'm pretty sure there's a plot in this series, so I am excited to dive into it, because the next book after that is the next book in the series, and then the next book after that is the next book in the series, the next book after that is the next book in the series. Because listen, okay, I kind of said this in the short, but a bookstore nearby was going out of business, and I am not one at this point in my life. I have been one that would buy a whole series, especially if it came in like a set. I have a couple that came in a box set that if I got that at a discounted price, it was hard to say no to that. But at this point, I like to just start with the first book and then see if I like the series. And oftentimes I've even now borrowing the first book from the library, and then if I like it, I'll buy that and I'll go into the rest of the series, even maybe again from the library. I've liked using Libby a lot, but I'll talk about that in later videos and such. So even though I got these books while I was at the point where I didn't want to buy a whole series without knowing I liked the first book, because the store was going out of sale and they were going out of business and they were very much on sale, I was like, well, might as well. And then I did get A Soul of Ash and Blood, which I think is the next one from Barnes & Noble, and I can't remember why. I think it was just one of those shopping trips where I just couldn't not. You know how that is sometimes? Probably not. It was probably impulsive, we're gonna be honest here. Also, if I'm being honest, I will only DNF if I'm really disliking a book, because I tend to give them a chance to get better, or maybe I didn't like the second book in the series but I really like the third one and that kind of stuff. So it really has to be something that I'm not enjoying for me to DNF, because I don't know. Basically, it has to really lose me. It has to really lose me, and I'm hoping, because this is fantasy romance, that it won't. I have read some, or started to read some, that kind of read like a like steamy fanfic, and that's fine if that's what people are interested in. I just went through that phase a while ago. Listen, I'm not judging anyone, because I read after, while it was being published on Wattpad. Like, I remember texting friends in high school, oh my god, Anna Todd updated, the new chapter's out. Like, we were so excited over that series, and obviously that means I have no room to judge, because I watched the movies as an adult and I was like, I can't understand what I liked about this. As I was saying, this is, you know, I mentioned this was unscripted for a reason, because when it's unscripted I just kind of just, you know, don't know what to say next sometimes, and then here we are. So I'm excited to read from Blood and I'm excited to read from Blood and Ash. I do plan on doing a video about this series as well. I've heard other great things, not just from the person who recommended it to me, but just reviews that I've read, and friends have told me that they've enjoyed it. So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. I hope it'll be good. If you've read it, let me know down below, without spoilers, what you think. Again, after I finish The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, this is what I'm going into, and what is happening. And I'm also currently doing Dracula Daily, but that I don't believe ends in May, so that might not be part of my May TBR. It is technically part of my May TBR, although I've already started reading it. The first one, I'm pretty sure it won't be over in May, so I won't really be talking about my experience reading that in my May reading wrap-up, I'm pretty sure, so. I don't know, but if you like fantasy, romantasy, books in general, and don't mind me rambling sometimes in videos, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon with a vlog of me reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think next week I'm actually going to be talking about the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, so I'm very excited to do that, because I think that was kind of the first romantasy series that I really, really loved, and one of the I haven't read a lot of romantasy, so, yeah, yep, so that, and then the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue vlog, and then hopefully I'll be talking about these books, and yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you soon. Bye!